Hi everybody, I'm Julianne Mamana with Coldwell Banker Vanguard Realty from Northeast Florida. I'm here today with Austin Gray of Gray Home Inspections. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today, Austin.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's going to be fun to interview with you today and talk about home inspections.
I appreciate it. So you found the home of your dreams. You want to make sure you're getting a good quality home. How exactly should we do that? So first of all, Austin, can you tell us why a buyer might want to get a home inspection?
Well, it's really just a good time to get to actually know the house and just get a good understanding of what you're buying or getting into. It's a really good time to really look at all aspects of the house and look for any sort of defects or hazards within the home that you're not aware of that we will be looking for. And it may be even a tool that you can help negotiate a lower price on the house. But it's just a really good time to get to know your house.
Exactly. And how much does a home inspection typically cost an average buyer?
That's one of the most common questions that we get, and it just depends.
Yeah.
The age, the size, the complexity of the home, it all varies greatly. But one can generally expect to pay somewhere around a half of a mortgage payment on an inspection. So a $100,000 house, you may expect to have an $800 or $900 mortgage payment, expect to pay around $400 to $500, and then if you go up to $500 or $1 million, depending on what we're doing, expect to spend more, $1,000, $1,500 for the inspection.
So I work with a lot of buyers who want new construction. Do you recommend having a home inspection on a new home, even though it's just been built?
Always. And the sales agents at these large builders, they're great salespeople, and they'll try to sell you on the 12-month warranty, and oh, you don't need to have it, it's new. We find everything from improper drainage swales to broken trusses that are, when they're shipped to the homes, basically these engineered trusses get cracked and broken, and the only way to repair those are with an engineer. So we find those, low or actually completely missing insulation in attics. You have these city code inspectors who have a million things going on and are just not aware or not looking, not getting up in attics and checking things. Plumbing issues, electrical issues.
Wow.
It's not treated any differently than a typical home inspection.
That's good to know. That's another reason why it's great to have a realtor on your side who's representing you rather than just a site agent, because as a buyer's agent, it's no cost to you to have that personal representation to make sure you're not taken advantage of by those site agents. So I know that there's different types of home inspections, like general WDO and so on. Can you kind of go over the different types of inspections and what each is?
Yeah, of course. So a general home inspection is just an assessment of the entire home. So we're looking at the roof, plumbing, electrical, HVAC system, foundation. No stone is left unturned, if you will. So we're testing all outlets and windows and major appliances. And you're really just getting a good scope of any material defects that we may find. A 4-point insurance inspection is a regulatory document that is typically required for any home over 30 years old. So if you're going to be buying an older home in Avondale or some of the homes in Orange Park, they're starting to get older now, your insurance companies may require a typical or an additional insurance inspection, which is also known as a 4-point inspection, and they just want to know the material defects or hazards of the 4 major ticket items in your home, which are the roof, HVAC system, plumbing, and electrical. So those are the things that we'll be noting on the 4-point inspection. The WDO report. So WDO reports are wood destroying organism reports, or sometimes people may refer to them as a termite inspection. What we're looking for is any sort of wood decaying fungi, which may be wood rot, T111 siding typically, termites, powder post beetles, old house borers, any sort of bug, if you will, that any sort of critter that wants to eat away at your wood, that's what we'll be looking for. And the VA and FHA loans will typically require those documents to move forward to closing. I see there your wind mitigation reports. So wind mitigations are great, and it's actually a little known secret that not many people know about because your insurance companies won't tell you about them. So for a small fee, we can do a wind mitigation report, and basically what your insurance company wants to know, the short answer is how likely is your roof to fall off during a storm. So they want to know your roof-to-wall attachments, basically how is your truss attached to the top wall plate. Do you have a hurricane clip? Is it toenail? Do you have straps, structural rods? They want to know nail spacings. They want to know a whole host of things, and the difference between a hip roof and a gable roof can mean the difference between $200 and $500 savings a year, but a wind mitigation can typically save you anywhere from $300 to $500 to $1,000 or more a year on your insurance.
So it definitely benefits the buyer to have that wind mitigation inspection done.
Most definitely. And so any home that was built after 2002, insurance companies sometimes will automatically give you that credit. So that's going to be something to ask your lender if they'll automatically give you the credit for that or not, your insurance company. And if you do need it, we can require that, and we can provide that. And we have all the pictures necessary at the end of the inspection, so we can just add on to it.
Great. Good to know. So how long does an inspection typically take? I know it's based upon square footage, and I always recommend that my buyer be there present to witness the inspection. Do you agree?
Yes, so a good rule of thumb is about an hour for every 1,000 square feet. Okay. So I like when the buyers are there. A lot of times things can get lost in translation during a report, so when they get it, there's a lot going on. Yeah. So when you see a bunch of red letters, you know, people want to start pumping the brakes and they might get a little uneasy, if you will. So no, I prefer that the buyers are there, and if they can't make it for the entire inspection, at least try to make it there towards the last 30 minutes of the inspection, so at least we can go over our findings at the end of the inspection.
And I always attend the inspection just to have that to transfer to my buyer. Does your inspection typically cover the entire house? And if not, what would be some limitations of that?
So our reports are really looking at over 400 plus items in an inspection. I mean, we are going through everything from the main electrical panel to the water shutoff. If you have a septic system, we're really just checking for functional flow of septic systems. There are some limitations to what we can do as inspectors, but no, we're looking at everything from structural defects to just your appliances that are not working to missing shingles. I can kind of go on. There's 400 items or so that we look at, and everything is about covered. So
what do you think the most important issues are that a buyer should address first?
So that's a good question, and it's one of the ones that I always get calls back on. And really the first thing, the major thing that I would be concerned with would be anything that has to do with the foundation. Now, a typical wedge crack or a couple settling cracks here and there that are just hairline or minimal can be typical to a home in Florida. We're built on sand here, so we move and we settle, and that's typical. But where you have concern and where you would want to draw red flags is with slab separation, any sort of severe deflection in walls or movement that does not appear to be typical, and that's something that we can relay that message to people. But the top of the list would definitely be the foundation. That's where the whole house starts. That would be at the top of the list. One of the things that I get a lot of questions about from buyers and sometimes some inexperienced real estate agents is just because you're purchasing a home that may have a water heater or an AC unit that's 5 or 6, 7 years old, it doesn't mean that it needs to be replaced. It just means that you need to monitor it and maintain those items and potentially look to get a home warranty. Those are good things to have. But homes, every home has their issues. There's no perfect report out there, so I would definitely say foundation is at the top of the list. Any sort of issues with the roof, if there's ever missing shingles or roof leaks, definitely look into that first. Those would be the two items at the top of the list there, roof and foundation.
Yeah, so those are the main things that you would have the buyer prioritize as far
Sure.
as repairs.
Those would be at the top of the list.
Great to know. Thank you again. I really appreciate your time.
Oh, no problem. Look forward to doing it again.
And thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions about home inspections or the buying and selling process, feel free to reach out to me or Austin. We'd be happy to get back to you. Have a great day, guys.